Hey guys, it's Monday and we are back with another fantastic week of playing preschool at home. I don't think I've mentioned this yet so far. You can find this program at thebusytoddler.com and it is the best money I have ever spent so far on my kids. Very comprehensive, easy to follow program. And as you can tell, we mostly use materials that we already have in our home. And if you don't have exactly what the program has laid out for you, it's very, very easy to just work with whatever you've got on hand. So our format for the day, which is the same for every single day. So I feel like I'm just kind of like a broken record in these videos. So I'm just gonna lay out the format here on Monday at the beginning of the week. And this is the format that you follow each and every day. Now, sometimes we do mix up the order just when I feel things will flow better in a different arrangement, and that's totally fine. Everything still works out. You can make this program fit you. We are in Unit 3, Week 2, so we are still sticking with the nursery rhyme theme. So today you are to start out with your morning calendar and poem, which is, the poem is A Rhyming We Shall Go, sung to the tune of Hi-Ho the Dario. And whatever you do for your morning calendar, you are to mix in with that poem. Next up, you review topics that you've covered lately. Today, I would review the nursery rhymes that we sang last week, see if your child can remember the ones that you did, see if they can remember how they go. You get into the day's read aloud. That is followed by a learning activity, and then that is followed by an easy activity. So let's get to it. Today's read aloud poem is Hey Diddle Diddle. We are very familiar with this poem. We used to have a little placemat that had all the little scenes that played out this poem, so this for us is a classic. The things to talk about today are rhyming. A good way to approach this with your child and these nursery rhymes is once they're familiar with it and they know some of the words, which will happen quite quickly, then you start one of the sentences or one of the lines in the nursery rhyme and then let your child finish the sentence. And this, if you let them finish with each of the rhyming words, then that will kind of stick with them a little bit more as they are saying the words that rhyme. And this actually for us is a very old activity. This is something I used to do with some of the very simple books that we would read at bedtime or throughout the day. You know, the toddlers, they love repetitive stuff. You read these books over and over and over again, they know all the words. So you start a line and let them finish it, and then they kind of feel like they are reading the book or the poem too. I started out the day with the easy activity. Our easy activity for the day is to scoop and transfer. So for this one, you want to use some dry materials. And the idea is to help the spoon from the nursery rhyme fill up the dish. So we use some Rice Krispies today as they are much smaller and a little harder to transfer other than say like a Cheerio or something like that. And I provided 3 different dishes here, which were just a regular drinking glass, one of the little shot glasses we used to use to drink out of when Nola was a bit smaller, and then just a clear glass bowl as well. I also provided her with a few different types of spoons to transfer with. I used 2 measuring spoons as they would be quite easy because they are more concave. And then I also have a little mini spatula, which would be much more challenging for her as it is flat. We used one of the baby spoons. Again, it is much smaller and very shallow, so she wouldn't be able to pick up as many. And I also provided her this little mini kind of hybrid spatula spoon. It's a little bit larger in size and silicone so that it is sticky, but it is very, very shallow, so she wouldn't be able to pick up as many as she may have thought. This activity was a hit right from the start. It caught her attention in the morning as I had it laid out in the middle of the table this morning. I did not put the nursery rhyme book in the middle of the table because it had made its way up to my daughter's room and I didn't notice that the night before. But I simply took the approach of telling her that I had a song stuck in my head this morning when I woke up, and I started humming it and she started singing the nursery rhyme. And that kind of led us right downstairs and into our activity. She had a great time with this activity. She used all of the tools that I provided to scoop and fill the different glasses in the bowl. She was using her hands as well. She was drinking the Rice Krispie cereal from the cup as we were going along. She was shoving them in her mouth with her hands. She really had a fun time with this. It's an activity that she really enjoys, whether it's liquid or food of some sort like this. But she really likes the pouring, the scooping, and just figuring out different ways to transport these items. While we were playing this activity, we took the opportunity to talk about which tools made it easier to transfer items and which tools it was harder for her to use to transfer the Rice Krispie cereal, which one she liked best to use to transfer. But I think what she liked best was drinking the Rice Krispies out of the shot glass, it seemed. The sorting activity today is to get your child to sort silverware. So now we're about to sort the silverware. Nola does this 80% of the time we're emptying the dishwasher. She puts away her own dishes. She has glass dishes here and proper silverware. She does have plastic stuff as well, but she has always taken part in putting away her dishes since she was about 18 months old. You know, as soon as they're steady on their feet, I invite them to participate in this. This guy, not quite big enough yet, but he loves to get in the dishwasher. So I'm gonna just ask her if she can help me sort some of our silverware, and we'll see how that goes. Nola, can you help me sort some of this silverware? I put it away wrong. Think you can sort some of it out for me? Remember, we got big forks and little spoons and big spoons and some butter knives. Do you think you could sort those out for Mom? Let me turn a light on for you. You put them back where they go. I put them away, but I put them away all wrong. Yeah, like that. All of them. I need all of them. I put them away, but they were all wrong. I mixed them up. Your toe's poking out. Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Yeah, this one's wrong.
Big. This one over. Oh, big. What a great job you did. Oh, wait. One of these forks looks like it doesn't fit. You're amazing. High five. All right. Thanks, babe. Let's go play.
Please, may I have an apple?
Certainly. You pick. So as you can see, Nola had no problem sorting out the silverware today. This is a very easy task for her as she helps unload the dishwasher 80% of the time that we do it. She's usually quite into it. When she's not, we don't really push it. And she completely organizes her own drawer. She separates her silverware into little cups. She puts all the plastic ones together. She puts all the stainless steel ones together. This is her drawer, which I really have to stop saying because it's going to be our drawer for her and her brother, but it's kind of just one of those old habits. So all in all, today's activities went over great. Again, we didn't spend tons of time doing these activities. Another great day. Oh my. Postnatal hair regrowth. Guess I should be happy it's growing back. It's Tuesday! We got another great day lined up today, so let's get into it. The nursery rhyme for today is Hey Diddle Diddle, and this nursery rhyme also coincides with the easy activity that we are going to do today, though I didn't find it very easy. So we started off the day with our morning calendar routine, which is just a little song that I sing with the days of the week, and then I stop at the day before the day it actually is, and Nola finishes with the day that it is today, and then she continues with the day that it will be tomorrow, and then we finish the song. That's our calendar routine, until I find the perfect calendar that I'm looking for. We started to sing Hey Diddle Diddle, which I did have to revert back to the nursery rhyme book for this because it goes up to 20. I mean, who knew? I didn't know. I thought it stopped at 10, and I sang it differently from how this book has it. Obviously, I didn't go over today's activities last night like I normally do. We were just busy, you know, having some FaceTime calls with friends and family since it is still the holiday season and we didn't get to see anybody this year really. So I knew that I had already reviewed the whole week back on the weekend, and I didn't recall seeing anything that was going to take a lot of my time, so when I read it this morning, I was a little surprised. We'll get into it. So set up on the table, I had our nursery rhyme book. I had the letter N because we are to revisit the letter N today too, and really you can fit this into your routine at any time. We talked about the sounds that it makes and some of the words that we know with the letter N, and we revisited our little post-its that are on the wall because we still haven't taken them down as it's part of this unit. And then we got right into the easy activity is to decorate the letter N with some noodles. So just get some dry pasta and a little bit of glue and let them glue the pasta noodles on the end. We did that and it was fantastic. She spent quite a bit of time on her letter N this morning, and this is a time that you need to recognize for your child where you need to just walk away and let them do their thing uninterrupted. So what I mean by uninterrupted is as you walk past, don't say, "Oh, sweetie, you're doing such a good job," or "Oh, that looks great," or "Oh, that's beautiful." Let them finish. Let them go. Let them stay in that focused state where they are just concentrating. You know what it's like if you're at work and somebody's constantly over your shoulder going like, "Are you done yet? Are you there yet? Oh, that looks good. Are you almost finished? Can you tell me how you did?" You know, it drives you nuts. Same thing with the little kids. Let them stay focused and let them be in the zone and let them finish. And then once they're done and they bring it to you or they call you over, that's when you want to give the compliments, but not just at, "Oh, you did such a good job." Things that I like to say instead are, "I saw you concentrating really, really hard to finish that." Something along those lines. It's really a whole other series of vlogs that we get into, but it just helps to build up their self-esteem and their self-worth instead of just getting praise all the time. So our easy activity today. Later in the program, you are supposed to collect things from around your house and act out the nursery rhyme, 1, 2, buckle my shoe. Which is fine until you get to 10, a big fat hen. 13 and 14, maids are courting, and then the maids are waiting, and then the maids are in the kitchen, and then my plate's empty. And how am I going to explain to her what maids in courting and maids in waiting are? I just don't know how I'm going to make this work. Now, if I had have looked at this last night, I maybe would have prepared like drawing on some popsicle sticks to make little maids. I don't know how I would have made little maids, but I would have come up with something. And maybe that would have piqued Nola's interest, but today she just wasn't interested in it at all. So I noticed on the page next to the nursery rhyme we were reading is another one that involves counting. It's called 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If you've ever heard it, it goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Once I caught a fish alive. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Then I let him go again. Why did you let it go? Because he bit my finger so. Which little finger did he bite? This little finger on my right. But you sing it much slower. So I thought we have a little fishing game. We can act out this nursery rhyme. It is counting. It doesn't go all the way up to 20, but we have been counting a lot lately because we just had Christmas and we had a book advent calendar, a book of advent books, and every day when we get one we'd go over and count. It goes all the way up to 24. So I figured this would work instead. We haven't played our fishing game in a long time, and she went for it. So that's what we did, just on the carpet in the living room, as she was showing no interest in trying to act out the 1, 2, buckle my shoe, probably because I was really unprepared and kind of coming up with it and explaining it at the same time. So all in all, I would still say that today was great success. We didn't spend tons of time doing this as usual. There wasn't really anything for her to circle back to, but I know that she will play this fishing game lots of times today because, like I said, we haven't had it out in a while. So we'll see you tomorrow. Hey guys, we're back. It's Wednesday, and what a great day we have lined up today. I think I say that every day, but it's true. So today we are going to do what we always do. Have a great day. Today's read aloud is I'm a Little Teapot, and that coincides with the learning activity and the easy activity, which just makes for one big activity today, and it was a lot of fun, so let's get to it. So when you do your read aloud with the I'm a Little Teapot, you want to take the time and, explain the parts of a teapot, the handle, the spout, what it means to be all steamy, or whichever, particular words you choose to use for this nursery rhyme. You just want to make sure that your child is comprehending these words and knows what they mean. Our learning activity for the day is to have a tea party with pretend tea and continue to learn pouring and capacity, control, stuff like that. Perhaps you want to invite some stuffed animals to join this tea party. And if you don't have a tea set and you can't borrow a tea set, then just get a little jug, some little cups, whatever you can turn into your tea party. And our easy activity today is to take our tea bags and use them as makeshift paintbrushes and paint to see what kind of colors come out of these tea bags. Last night when I read through today's program, I decided that we were going to put this all into one activity because everything coincides and you're going to have everything out. And we took a little bit of a different approach. Now I did have about I have 5 different flavors of tea on hand. Well, we had 7, but we used 5. We opened with our morning poem, A Rhyming We Will Go, along with our calendar this morning. And I had set up a little placemat with some little clear mugs and some tea bags all ready to go. I thought I would take a little bit of a different approach on this since Nola is very familiar with pouring and capacity. Since we had so many different flavors, we had, let me see if I can remember this, spiced apple, peppermint, raspberry thriller, green tea, and chocolate chai. Boom. So I knew these would bring us up some different colors with our tea bags, so I had them all set up and ready to go. And now I will say that none of these are caffeinated. They're all herbal teas, and my daughter has partaken in tasting most of these teas aside from the peppermint and the green tea already. This is something that we have enjoyed on quite a few occasions with the latest winter season. So I had these all set up and ready to go on the table first thing this morning, and we boiled the kettle, and then what I did was I just poured a little bit of water into each cup, and I let Nola stir each cup to bring out the color in the tea, and then we took turns smelling each of the teas before we tasted them, and we checked out the colors that the tea bags had brought. I didn't leave the tea bags in for too long because if they oversteep then you lose a lot of the color. Then we took all the tea bags out and put them in a little bowl as we continued to smell and taste and give them a chance to cool off, and then we laid them all out onto a piece of white paper and pressed them down with a spoon a little bit to push out some more of that color but not have the paper sopping wet so it just ripped through. It was a lot of fun. We talked a lot about the teas and the different scents and the different flavors. We mixed the tea cups up and then took turns guessing at which was which flavor by sniffing it and tasting it. And then we let them cool and went back later and tasted them again while they were not really cold, but at least room temperature, and decided which one was our favorite then. We had a lot of fun with this morning. It was a really great activity. We sang I'm a Little Teapot many times while we did this activity. And then once our little tea bag paint had dried, we still haven't done this yet, but we are going to go back and just write, I'm going to help Nola write the names of the different flavors of tea on the paper, and we'll put that up on her wall. But I'd also like to add a few things. She has continued rhyming words for over a week now, since we started this last Monday. She just starts belting out some words, and most of the time she gets it now. Earlier, a few days prior, she was kind of rhyming words, but then not rhyming words, and still hadn't really got it. But now she's getting really good at rhyming words. Even if she makes the words up, they still rhyme, so that counts. We have also made another Humpty Dumpty because this activity has continued on since we started it. She is still decorating her Humpty Dumpty egg, and then today she asked me to make another Humpty Dumpty egg for her, which was great. We traced the Humpty Dumpty we had. She cut out the shape of the oval egg with my assistance, and then we started to decorate it, and I pulled open the drawer to get more stickers, and what did I find? Minnie Mouse stickers. And what is Minnie Mouse doing, might you wonder? Having a tea party. Couldn't have planned that one if I had tried, I guarantee it. So there are tons of stickers on it, but you know, up here it says cup of tea, a bunch of little teacups all stacked together. It's all stickers that are themed on, you know, little tea and a little cake or cupcake snack, and I just thought that, you know, what are the chances? I completely forgot that we had these stickers, and we just pulled them out at the right time. So this is another activity that she gets really involved in and really focused and concentrates a lot. And like I had mentioned before, if you peel the backing off of these sticker sheets, it makes it really easy for your child to get the stickers off by themselves. And we love self-sufficient activities, don't we? They're so good. This is another activity where I'm around, but I walk away and I just let her have her time. I let her concentrate. I don't interrupt her, but I'm close by or within an earshot if she's calling for help with something or wants me to come check out what she's done. We will probably have a dozen eggs by the time she's done with this activity because we have millions of stickers. So that's it for today, and we'll see you tomorrow.
Bye.
Hey guys, it's Wednesday, and as always, we have another great day, so let's get right into it. Today's read aloud is going to be Old Mother Hubbard, and you're going to follow this after your opening morning calendar and poem, which is still A Rhyming We Shall Go. We are also going to review the letter N today. Then we're going to have our learning activity followed by our easy activity. So this morning I didn't start with anything on the middle of the table because Dad is home again this morning. So I know today is going to be a little thrown off, and it was even more thrown off by the fact that Nola woke up an hour and a half earlier than usual because she was too hot in her PJs. So we didn't start anything right off the bat first thing in the morning because we are still decorating our eggs. We cut out 2 more eggs yesterday, and I knew she was going to want to get right into that this morning because that's what she was talking about before she went to bed last night. So that, in all actuality, is what I had left on the table for her, and it's exactly what she did. Then, not too far on into the morning, she asked me what song I woke up with stuck in my head, because that's the line I've been using lately. So I said to her, I do have a song stuck in my head, and it's called Old Mother Hubbard. Now, when I went over this last night, I quickly realized I needed to find an updated version of Old Mother Hubbard, because in the OG, which is what we have in the book, the dog dies in the first verse. Then he goes on to do a bunch of wacky stuff, and it's a really long nursery rhyme, and it's a bunch of nonsense, quite frankly. So I found an updated version which was much shorter and something that I found more appropriate. The learning activity is a math-based activity today, and you are to send your child off to the cupboard to find a certain number of items. So if you have a little stuffed dog, that's the plan that we were using, was to use our little stuffed dog and to go retrieve things from the cupboard for him. So you're to instruct your child to bring me back 3 whatever it is. You don't have to be sending them to the cupboard. You can send them to the toy chest, wherever you want to send them really, but you have to ask them to bring you back a particular number of a particular item. So this could be 3 blocks from the toy chest, it could be 3 crackers from the cupboard, and then you are to help your child count out the exact amount. If you are participating in this game, which we didn't today, Nola has had 0 interest in this activity, and I really don't have another way in mind to swing it to her, but I'm not really too concerned. We've been doing lots of counting lately, like I had mentioned with our advent calendar. We've played this game before, she's pretty good at it, so I wasn't sweating too much over that. The easy activity for the day is to take a box, a tray, a bowl, whatever you've got, or just on the table, and place about 4 items is suggested in the program. And you go over the 4 items, and then you get your child to close their eyes and you take 1 item away and they guess what is missing. This was a great game and went way further than I had thought. I originally started out with 5 items that were all from our play food bin, and this was very easy for her. She took a turn, I took a turn, we did that a couple of times. Then we added 2 more items, and we kept on playing, taking turns. Then Nola upped the ante by taking away more than 1 item. What a great idea. This was something that I didn't even think of. I was just thinking, if it's too easy, we'll just keep adding more items, but taking away more items, clever little girl. Then she got ridiculous and added a whole bunch more stuff. And this is where she started to need clues or hints as to the last item or 2 that was still missing that she couldn't guess. But either way, we still had fun. It was a really great game. I can anticipate that we will be playing this game a lot more in the future because we are still continuing with some other games that we've recently played, such as the letter N hunt. She has asked me a few times this morning to hide her little post notes of the letter N that were on the wall, which is great. That's when we had reviewed our letter N today. We also did some of the letter N review while we were reading the Mother Hubbard. I was reciting the updated version, but we were looking in the book, and that's where she was finding the letters. She wasn't just finding N, she was also noticing A, she was also noticing R. She knows a lot more letters. She can identify, I would say, 85% of the alphabet, either by name or sound or both, but she was only pointing out the letters that we have reviewed so far throughout this program. So even though we only did 1 of the 2 activities that were laid out in the program, we still continued on with lots of other activities, so I would consider today a success. Hey guys, it is Friday, and it's actually Friday today, unlike yesterday when clearly I didn't know what day of the week it was. So today's read aloud is Little Miss Muffet. Things to talk about with your child today are just a review and recap of all of the nursery rhymes that we have sang this week and ask them what their favorite ones were and why. Then we are going to do our learning activity, which is a review of the letters A, N, and R, followed by our easy activity. So let's get into it. Today I started out the day with all of the stuff that we would need for our learning activity right in the middle of the table. This included our nursery rhyme book, along with some white sheets of paper and a little bit of food coloring and water. So our learning activity today is to review the letters A, N, and R, which we have already spoke about throughout this program. And what you're going to do is take a white crayon on white paper and write these letters out scattered about in capital and in small. And then you're going to take either some watercolor paint. If you don't have any watercolor paint, don't worry. Food coloring in water I find works better for this activity than watercolor paint. At least with the watercolor paint that I have on hand, because we have done this activity before. What I did was I just simply taped down the placemat to the table and taped the piece of paper on the placemat, and then gave my daughter a paintbrush and let her go. Now I will say, if you're going to do this activity, I suggest that you prep more than one sheet. So the first time I did this activity with Nola, we did about 5 sheets before she had bored of it. So you want to have a couple of ready. So what I did was one sheet with just the letters that we have reviewed so far in this program, and then I did another one with her name scattered all over it, with a mix of capital letters and small letters throughout her name and all over the page. She asked for a page of numbers, which, great idea. Wish I would have thought of that, but she was satisfied with the 2 sheets that we did. So once your child paints over the paper, then the secret alphabet numbers will appear. Something I found very interesting with this is she was looking at the white pieces of paper and she could actually see the crayon before she even painted over it. Great. The eyesight of a child is amazing, I guess, because I have a really hard time writing these letters out. I really have to keep track of where I've written them, or I can't really see them in the page, not even tilting the paper under the light. This was also a great activity to review some of our color mixing, as she was taking her one paintbrush that I supplied her with and dipping it from cup to cup. She was color mixing and telling me what color she was going to get, so I thought that was great. Our easy activity for the day is to get a little plastic spider out of your Halloween supplies, or cut a little spider out of paper and put it on a string and play out Little Miss Muffet. Now, change the name, put your kid's name. You know, we did Little Miss Nola was sitting at the dining room table eating her toast and eggs when along came a spider and sat down beside her. This made it really fun. It made it her own, it made it personal. Now, when we did first go through the original nursery rhyme, I always take note to explain words that I don't think she understands. She doesn't know what a tuffet is. She doesn't know what curds and whey are. So, you know, we just want to explain those things, that a tuffet is just another word for a little chair, and curds and whey, you could show them cottage cheese if you have cottage cheese, and the clumps would be curds and the liquid would be the whey, stuff like that. So just to help make sure they have a full understanding of the nursery rhyme or story that you're reading. We had a lot of fun with this game. I chased her around, she chased me around, she chased her little brother around, and the cat chased everybody around if they had that little string in their hand. It was a really fun day. We had a really great week. Again, all successful activities that were very easy, very little prep, and very successful. So if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. And if you're thinking about perhaps starting some preschooling at home with your toddler, or even just for some easy activity ideas, then consider subscribing. Thanks. See you next week.